Fasting is when you deny yourself food for a spiritual purpose. You're not dieting. You are not eating. Eating is not bad. Eating is not sin. God produced and made different flavors of food for us to enjoy. But there's nothing in our life that we crave more than food. You desire food more than almost anything. That's why I tell a lot of people that are addicts and things like that, you need to learn to fast. Because if you can get victory over your own stomach, you can get victory over heroin. If you can get victory over your desire to eat food, you can get victory over alcohol. If you can get victory over your desire to eat food, you can get victory over tobacco. If you can get victory over your own stomach, you can get victory over almost anything in your life. Pornography, sexual immorality, because there's no desire that you have in your life that's stronger than your desire to eat. So we believe in fasting. There's certain things you'll never see in the kingdom if you don't learn to fast. Matthew chapter 17, verse 20, those disciples, they came, Jesus was up on the Mount of Transfiguration. Jesus was down up there, and the disciples were down here, and they couldn't cast the devil out of a little boy. And so Jesus comes down, and Jesus was not always the most politically correct, and a lot of us might not have liked Jesus as our pastor very much. Because he didn't end everything with a compliment. He didn't tell you what a sweetheart you were before and after he rebuked you. He just laid it straight down the barrel, black and white. This is how it is. He says, faithless and perverse generation, how long will I be with you? Boom, he cast the devil out of this little boy. Well, the disciples, they were just confused. They were bewildered. They had a lot of questions. So later that evening, when they got somewhere privately, they said, Lord, why couldn't we cast the devil out? And Jesus again didn't say, oh, sweetheart, I'm so glad you tried. That was really good and good effort, A for effort. He didn't say that at all. He said, because of your unbelief. And he said, because if you have faith, like a grain of a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, be thou removed and be thou cast into the sea. And one little idea I had off of that one day when I was meditating on it, Jesus was on a mountain. I believe he was talking about that mountain. Sometimes the mountain we need removed is the distance between us and him. Fasting brings nearness to him. Sometimes we need that mountain distance removed, and we just need to be... the solution to all our issues we're praying about is just being closer to him, because in him is everything we need. Then he said in verse 21, he said, because this kind does not go forth but by prayer and fasting. Without prayer and fasting, this kind doesn't go out. And I used to read that, and we've encountered things. I've been in little houses, little mud huts. We've been out in bushes and villages. We walk up on a guy, a friend one day, he walked up on a guy over there that was chained to a tree. Fingernails had grown out, hair had grown out on his body, chained to a tree, because they don't have any insane asylums to take the demon-possessed people over there. Just chained him to a tree. Just slide a plate of food to him because he's totally demon-possessed. I have a pastor friend, he was in another religion and became totally demon-possessed. And then some spirit-filled believers walked in one day, prayed over him, the demonic spirits left, and now he's a pastor today. All that stuff's still around. Even right here in northeast Louisiana. That's right. And anyway, I used to encounter that kind of stuff over there, and we'd go in and pray, and man, nothing happened. Pray a couple of hours and nothing happened, and go back and fast, because I thought what Jesus was telling me there is that this kind of spirit doesn't go out except by prayer and fasting. But I got to meditating on that one day, and I think I was mistaken on my interpretation there. What he was saying is this kind of unbelief. The issue's not the spirit. The issue was their unbelief. Faith and unbelief are opposing forces. He was telling them this kind of unbelief does not go out but by prayer and fasting. Fasting doesn't change God. Fasting doesn't twist God's arm and get him to do something he didn't want to do. Fasting changes me. And that's usually what needs changing. is me and you. God already wants to do some stuff in us and through us. And he said that out of our bellies would flow rivers of living water. Sometimes there's some things blocking the flow. We need to get them out and get them cleaned up.